Hello? ¿Alguien necesita Hello? ¿Alguien necesita una traducción del foro? No? Okay.
Good afternoon, and thank you for coming to the Candidates Forum. I would like to, at this time, introduce our moderator, Mr. Stephen Bach. He will be running the forum for us as the moderator, and I'm sure that you will enjoy him because he's an outstanding person and he does this very well.
Also, if you'll join me in giving Margot and her team a round of applause for putting this event together. Sorry for starting late. There were a few little legal hitches in getting the program going, including posting the candidates' names to make sure everybody gets a fair shake. And so on that note, I want to introduce you to the Council District 15 Special Election Forum. There are 15 candidates. 11 of them are going to be on the ballot, and there'll be 4 write-in candidates. And so all 15 have been given the opportunity to participate in this forum. 5 of them are not here. From the 11 candidates who will be on the ballot, 3 of them are not here, and that is Frank Pareda, Rebecca Chambliss, and Rudy Zvornich. Of the write-in candidates, and there are 4, 2 of them are not here, and they are Timothy Weaver and Emery Seuss. We're running a little behind, so we're going to speed it up, and we're going to go straight to the introductions. The candidates will have 3 minutes to introduce themselves, and then we'll move into the questions. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll start on this end.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jamie Wilson. I want to thank everyone for being here this afternoon to learn more about the candidates. I also want to thank the Watts Neighborhood Council and the Watts Willowbrook Boys and Girls Club for hosting us here. And again, thank you, everyone. I'm Jamie. I'm a businessman. My businesses are in San Pedro and Long Beach. I operate the Port Sakal restaurant. I operate Spirit Cruises. That's what I've been doing over the last 30 years. But fortunately for me, I've also been very involved in the community. I've been president of the Chamber of Commerce 3 times. I've been chair of the Port Community Advisory Committee for 7 years. I'm currently the chair of the Redevelopment Agency Citizen Advisory Body in San Pedro. And a couple things that are very close to me. I was the president when we started the Business Improvement District, and I was the president of the Board of Trustees of the Port of Los Angeles Charter High School, which we created over the last 7 years. We now have 950 kids in this wonderful program, and a payroll of 65 faculty in our community. Our kids have a 98% college acceptance rate. So I've been very involved in my free time in working to improve our community. I'm running for city council because I feel that the city has been shortchanging our neighborhoods. I do not believe in the 15th district we have received the fair share of development, the fair share of jobs, the fair share of the quality of life issues, the streets, the sidewalks, the tree trimming. I don't think we have received the fair share of our public safety. I believe other communities receive a higher share, quicker response times than what we receive in the 15th district. This district is one of the largest districts. It's like 15 miles long from the Watts Towers down to the harbor. I think we can work together in the communities, working with the various neighborhood councils to get more people involved, to set the proper policies for the city, and then work to find the money to implement these programs. I believe that we can continue to go forward and improve things, and it's unacceptable for some of the cutbacks that are going on right now. When you think about the city of Los Angeles, one of the most beautiful cities in the world, at a time when people on the city council are talking about, well, we're not going to fix the sidewalks, we're going to make that the homeowner's responsibility. We're not going to do this program, we're going to cut back after school programs, we're going to cut back libraries. I think we don't need to cut back, we need to expand. We need to find the money to create the jobs, and then we need to work to make sure they're implemented in a fair way throughout this district. And that's what I'll work to do. Again, thank you very much, Jamie Wilson.
Good afternoon. My name is Gordon Tuber, and it's a pleasure to be here with you today at the Wattsville Brook Boys and Girls Club. I'm glad we're having the forum in Watts, and it's very appropriate that you guys get your voices heard directly in this community. As Director of Economic Development for Councilwoman Janice Hahn for the last 5 years, I've had hands-on experience helping businesses get started and get their doors open. What we need now is a council person who will focus first and foremost on attracting new capital to Council District 15 in order to provide greater opportunity to you, its residents. My top priority is to get projects going that have long been stalled, especially in this area. First and foremost is the Lancet project, which is going to start in 2012, that will not only provide new construction jobs, it's going to provide 350 permanent jobs. That's what this community really needs. Next on this list is seeing the new Jordan Downs project come to life. This is a dynamic opportunity for this community, not only for the housing, but for the extension of Century Boulevard connected to Alameda Street and the addition of retail development. There couldn't be a better place in this community to create local job training opportunities. I also believe in rebuilding Nickerson Gardens and Imperial Court needs to be a top priority of the Housing Authority of the City of Los Angeles. I want these projects to become public-private partnerships and take their management out of the hands of the City of Los Angeles Housing Authority. Imperial Court can also provide retail opportunities for services that this community desperately needs. I know that there is a real dearth of services here, and you guys do deserve that. I attended the Watts Gang Task Force this week, and it's clear to me that there's a lot of frustration and there's a cycle of violence in this community that needs to be broken. And it was sad for me to see a 20 by 20 block radius really of Watts that there's just so much violence here. It's just unacceptable. I want to see that violence stop, and we need to get the guns off the streets of Watts. Another issue that you guys brought up is education. And I know we need to get more students to graduate from high school here in this community, but they're never going to climb out of that cycle of poverty, gangs, and drugs. I support more charter and private schools in your community. I also will be a voice for fiscal sanity in this community, in the City of Los Angeles rather, to limit our pension, health care, and salaries so we can provide more services to you, the residents of the city. Just a little bit more about myself. Prior to working in the council office, I spent 25 years in the private sector selling real estate. I believe I can bring a new perspective to City Hall. And if elected, I will not utilize any city cars, any city cell phones, and I do believe in cutting the budget of the city council and the council person's salary. My campaign is not funded by special interest. It's not benefiting from any independent expenditures. If elected, I will be beholden to no one but you, the constituents. Thank you.
Good afternoon, South Los Angeles. Thank you so much for having us, and Watts Neighborhood Council, thank you so much for hosting this forum. My name is Joe Buscaino, and I'm honored and pleased to be here with you this afternoon. I'm the son of Italian immigrants. My family immigrated here nearly 40 years ago from Italy to the San Pedro area. My dad was a fisherman. My mom raised my two sisters and I. And my parents instilled in me the importance of faith, of family, of community, of giving back and doing good for others, regardless of their ethnic background, regardless of who they believe in, regardless if they're rich or poor, is to serve others by doing good. I've been a proud member of the Los Angeles Police Department the last 15 years. 6 of the last years I've worked as a senior lead officer in the Harbor area. I've done some great projects here in the Southeast Division as well. I started this teen advisory board 6 years ago, which includes teenagers in the problem-solving process. Brings teenagers to the table and instill faith, trust, and confidence in their police department. I am pleased we've reduced youth violence in the last 6 years because of our efforts, and Chief Beck has now gone citywide with this program. Again, as I said, public safety is near and dear to my heart. I've dealt with the criminal element. I've spoken to victims of crime. I've talked to kids out in the streets. They don't have any love, guidance, or direction. And quite frankly, I know we can do better. And the reason why I'm running for city council is to have economic justice throughout this district, not only San Pedro, but also Watts, Harbor City, Harbor Gateway, to have city service justice throughout this district, not only communities who tend to vote more. And that's what we call, we've heard, the politics of poverty. I want to be, and I plan on being, the independent voice across this district, if you're in Watts or down the Harbor area. I have dealt with poverty out in the streets. I've dealt with what poverty brings and what it does to children and what it does to our families. And we need to create these job opportunities with not only the local government, but the state government and the federal government, and bring folks to the table and make the city a better, make it a city that's more business friendly. I've dealt with blight here in Watts and all the way down to the harbor. I've dealt with illegal vending, quality of life issues. I've dealt with sofas that are dumped. I've dealt with businesses that have failed and who have turned to other cities to run their businesses. And again, quite frankly, I know we can do better. So I thank you for this opportunity. I thank you for this time. And thank you to the Watts Neighborhood Councils for allowing us. And my campaign is very similar to the Neighborhood Council movement. It's strictly grassroots, and we've done really good. Thank you so much. Also, I do know we do have Timothy Weaver here, who wasn't mentioned in the opening. He's also one of the write-in candidates.